Yo, press record. What's up? You're listening to Zero to X. My name is Daniel, and today with me, as always.
Hey guys, my name is Amara.
What's up? What's up?
I'm very well, bro.
Guys, we're recording this at 9:58.
bro.
It's bloody 10 p.m., man. Talk about showing up. We practice what we preach at Zero to X. How was your week, man?
Bro, my week was actually really good.
I'm happy for you.
No, I'm happy for me too, to be honest. But I find myself, or no, this week I found myself going back to some of my lessons from H1 that I shared on the podcast, and the biggest one being don't drop the ball.
Don't drop the ball.
And then the second one after that, I remember I talked about was making sure to up the intensity.
Yeah.
And then one more, I think the last one that because I read the three of them.
Yeah.
And this week I was just like, bro, thankfully I've not dropped the ball on anything because it rings like an alarm in my head when I catch myself sleeping for any reason, for anything, right? And with intensity, I've found that with certain areas of my life, I still need to fine tune them. And so this week was me making sure that I am putting in as much that is required from me with regards to keeping that intensity where I would like it to be.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm not just doing consistent stuff because consistency is no longer enough.
Yeah.
At least in my own situation.
Consistency is no longer enough. I mean, it's a good starting point.
I mean, this context, guys.
Started.
I mean, consistency is super important, but at some point you need to make sure there's
consistency is incredibly fundamental to making lasting greatness last.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, what makes greatness great is actually the intensity of
net change.
Yeah, net change.
Net positive.
So, because this is how I think about it, right? There is just the number of reps you have to do to achieve a certain result. Alex Emozi says you start, you suck less, and you suck less, and you suck less till you actually become pretty good.
Yeah.
And then people are like, yo, how'd you get so good?
Yeah.
Right? So it's like, let's imagine arbitrarily, like it's 1,000 reps for that thing to happen. I'm of the opinion that I would rather do 200 over 5 days rather than do 50.
Daniel just likes Elon Musk behavior.
50,
Elon Musk
50,
behavior.
50. No, because like when you put in the volume, because we've said this thing on the podcast before, right? I don't ever want to mistakenly underestimate the amount of work a thing that I would want to achieve would require.
Yeah.
Do you understand what I'm trying to say? So I just try to give it what it requires.
Yeah.
And if I don't have a clear enough idea of what that is, maybe I haven't been able to figure out what it needs from people that have gone ahead of me. I just want to know that I'm giving it my fullest. Right?
Understand.
Because how will I put it? I don't necessarily want to go philosophical, but there is some way in my mind where it looks like I'm a tortured soul.
Guys, I think some of you that listen to Daniel would see it as well. But anyway, my point at the end of the day was that because I was privileged enough to see these things and be reminded of these things, it really helped to attack the week with a certain level of
I understand that.
Yeah.
I understand that.
Intensity.
I understand that.
Yeah, so that was what made it a great week, man. It was a great week.
One of the best books I've read and something I continually refer to. You know, when you hear about someone that trained Michael Jordan and Kobe Bryant, you're like, who is that person? So the name of the book is Relentless by Tim Grover. I will advise that you read that book with a pinch of salt. I will advise, right? But there is a fair amount of really, really good, I would say important stuff in there, right? And the first law of being relentless is don't think. So don't think means when you are in the moment of doing, you just do.
You just do.
Right? Yeah. Because you've put in the reps in preparation before. That is where you see them practicing. So for instance, now there's this thing that happens in the NBA. Right, I'm sorry I use a lot of basketball euphemisms because it's literally not sorry to be fair. So, but there are these really, really crazy shows that you just see people make, and then they ask them after, and they then tell you, "I practice those shots."
Yeah,
I practice those shots. Like the form is terrible. It's under pressure. It's like 1 second till the end of the game. They just throw off something stupid.
With all the courage that's needed. That's all.
And they LeBron trust the practice. They trust the practice. Like everybody knows LeBron's closer. It is spin on your left, then on the right elbow, spin from your left, bank it in for a 3. LeBron has closed games like that so many times. Like you can't, like it's not a shot he would take in the middle of a normal game.
Yeah.
But when push comes to shove, I mean, it's like the season on the line. It's like he will do it.
Yeah.
Do you understand? And like different other people, you'd hear them say, "I practice those shots."
Yeah.
So, but in that moment, they can't be thinking, "This is what I'm going to do."
Yeah.
Do you understand?
If you think you will hesitate.
If you think you will hesitate.
Yeah.
Exactly. So it's about putting in the reps, putting in the number of hours it takes for that thing to become so second nature that it's automatic.
Yeah.
That you are not thinking in that moment.
Yeah.
So that's kind of a way I approach these kind of things. Like for me, I did consistency and intensity at the same time, and my week was let me talk about it in the scope of the past 2 weeks actually. My week, it was I won't say for no reason. Maybe it was the Holy Spirit that just prodded my heart, right?
Yeah.
But there are some things that I said, okay, not now. No, I said not now to doing them, right? And you know that I have a lot of things that I'm actually pursuing at the same time. Yeah, do you understand? But for one of them, I was just like, you know what? I'm just going to do this thing because there are still minutes in my days that I'm not doing anything with. Yeah. Right? I can legitimately say, there is nothing taking up this block of time. And maybe there's still some spark of creativity that I can give, right? And that is kind of suited to that task. So even if it's just to think, because I had power issues the past 2 weeks, so my actual output wasn't as much. So it just left me with a lot of time to think and write and brainstorm and whatever. And I did that because, I mean, it's just more time saved for showtime. Do you understand? It's more hours locked in to be able to perform. Yeah. So, yeah, that was like what the last 2 weeks were. And I showed Amara some of what I was working on. And Amara was like, bro, is it the same 24 hours?
The same 24 hours, because Daniel was like, he's running a different,
my God.
Bro.
Oh my God. In 5 years, it'll make sense. That's what I always say. In 5 years, it'll make sense.
Crazy.
In 2 years, it'll make sense.
Guys, I know we drum these things, and I see, like I was telling somebody today, I was telling a friend today that there's a lot of things we see. Yeah. Or at least there's a lot of things I know I would give as advice to somebody who comes to me for advice. Yeah. That I know sounds easy the moment it comes out of your mouth. True. But by the time you decide that you want to commit to it, you will see that life will test your conviction. 100%. Will test your conviction. 100%. So when we say things like you're going to, it's like just play the 5-year game plan and see. You will be tempted to leave that thing you're doing 1 year from now when it's not looking, or the pressure from something that you need to attend to at that moment. True. Want to make you dump that thing that you've committed 1 year to. There's so many things that could possibly test that conviction to stick this thing out for 5 years. Yeah. And so it would mean that, as we have said here on the podcast, choose these 5 years and stay with it. You would need to say to yourself that, in this moment, this moment was what that day one was for. Yeah. It was what those weeks of going through the motions were for. 100%. To make sure that I can push through this moment and get what I know I expect to be the outcome of this entire thing.
I spent a lot of the last 2 weeks just not thinking. I was like, this is a thing to do, and I just did. Because if I thought, I would hesitate.
I think this is a very good way to segue into what we want to talk about today. Yeah. And here's why. Guys, we'll talk about what we want to talk about. We don't want to say, I don't want to say the topic yet, but something came to mind just while you were talking. Yeah. And so there's this approach we talked about on the podcast here. Approaching the hardest thing. It's usually kind of like it's a mix of both the hardest thing of all the things you will need to attend to in your day. So think about your 9 to 5 day, and you pick the hardest thing first and choose to attack that first. One, mixed with the thing that gives you the most return on investment of time.
100%.
So like finding that balance and then picking that thing. Yeah. And I found this week it was self-awareness is beautiful.
Self-awareness is beautiful.
Self-awareness can make you look at yourself and you're just like
you're in awe.
Bro, no. Like, I was looking at my body. When I say my body, I'm thinking
wait, from a third person.
Exactly, from a third person, I'll just slap myself like, oh, you need a slap. So, but let me give you guys some context. So, there's a very big thing I'm working on. Daniel has some details about it. Yeah, and it's hard.
You don't say.
It's hard. I mean, see, on the side of net return on investment of time, I am sure about what is going to return on investment of my time. Do you get me? But the difficulty level, bro, is hard. So
it's legend, man.
For game players.
Game players like legend.
Anyway, so I mean, ideally, based off of that thought process of picking that thing up, choosing to deal with it first. Like the way Alex Moses says, it does like calf raises first when he goes for a workout session. Just to make sure that, like, because you know that the thing you give is like scriptures, seek ye first the kingdom. Like the thing you give your attention to first. Plays a very pivotal role.
100%.
You get me? So with all of that. And so, like, I've been doing this for a while. Like, it was getting progressively harder as I was making progress. And I got to a point this week where my body, bro, not me, my body was looking for a way to avoid the difficulty. Like my body was looking for. My body said, "Do this other task first. Come back." Like run away from the those. You know, my body's not telling my mind though. My body's just acting.
Body was just
revolting. Like it doesn't want. And I caught myself in that moment. Thanks to self-awareness. That bro, this body is fighting this hard war. Like you know when you look at the gravity of the work and you're just like
bro,
put that off.
There are two tasks I can easily see in my mind's eye right now. That
oh my god! And so in that moment, it was reminding myself that I know why I decided to take on this project. And I know what I intend to get out of putting in the work for this project. And so this little decision to see it through and stick it through, especially as the first task of the day, because I understand that if I give you priority like that, it will keep yielding results as opposed to just slotting into any part of your day. Do you get me? That for me was a very, very, very simple, might have seemed inconsequential to an observer. But for me, it was simply...
Now you did do them now.
Bro, it was like, with this, like, I'm able to say, yes, I can keep getting what I want out of this. Do you get me? And I'm not, bro. And so when I think about the topic for today, because guys, that was what led me to this entire thing. We said we wanted to share with you guys tiny mindsets, tiny things that we see that have helped us with regards to getting what we want out of the things that we've embarked on. And for me, in this particular moment, it was spotting that thing and saying, no, I will do this hard thing with this high return on investment of time and place it first in my day, regardless of the difficulty level, and see it through. Thanks to self-awareness.
I remember us talking about this thing where we said, like, whatever is your focus on, whatever your focus is in a particular period or season, I tend to do that thing first. So there are times where I want to give time, like, more focus to spiritual. So the moment I'm waking up, I'm praying for like an hour or 30 minutes or whatever. There's some times I want to work. So literally the moment I wake up, I don't do any nonsense morning routine, no affirmations, no visualization, no coffee, no. I just wake up and jumpstart. I literally wake up and jumpstart. Go to my computer, turn it on, and I'm just into working. Then there's sometimes it's like, oh, I think I want to get into fitness, and then I wake up and then just do a 1 hour run and get back, take a shower, and then just head straight into work. So for me, one of the things that I've done recently, because, so guys, I think I've said this a couple of times. Summary of my life is that I don't want to mess up.
Yeah.
Right?
That, bro.
I don't want to mess up. That's a summary.
Bro.
Like, as of right now, the paradigm I have is I don't want to mess up.
So how much has been given?
Much is expected. And it's kind of like, I've said this before, I feel like I'm the kind of person that maybe God has given, to reference the parable of the talents.
Yeah.
Maybe God has given me 3.5 or 4. I added 1 as starting to make it 5. So I have 5 talents to start, but I've only brought back 1.5 more. So it's like I only have 6.5.
Yeah.
So I have not produced maximally.
Yeah.
So it's not even for me to double it, because any other person that was given 2 and gets to 4 has
did the same thing you did.
No, like I want to overdo. Is in my body to do. It's who I am, I think, to a large extent, right?
Yeah.
So it's like there's a lot of catching up in my mind somehow, some way, some form, some shape to do. So it's like for me, it just so happens that the things that I like to do that I see grant me fulfillments that register as me doing what I think my assignment is on this earth.
Yeah.
Just happen to take time to build. And they happen to have a higher level of difficulty than most other things.
Bro, it's not you, man. It's not one of the things. It is. I think. To sum it up, it is the life of an entrepreneur.
100%.
But specific to you, there might be a higher difficulty level.
There might be a higher. But I think 100%. So I just don't want to generalize because I can speak to my situation per se. Because I mean, just thinking about it, with my talents and gifts, there are other things I can do that will make me. I'll work 3-4 hours a day and make a shit ton, of money.
Comfortable.
Like, bro, I won't stress, bro.
Probably in Bali or something. Bro.
I won't stress. So, but then it's just like I said, the things that grant me fulfillment don't happen to be those things, and they would count for a comfortable life. But not for a fulfilled one.
Exactly.
Do you understand?
Exactly.
So we're going for a fulfilled.
Exactly.
Something I've had to, and it's this thing that Amara said about environment and priming your environment, right? So it's like it's me taking that a step further and saying, it's not just your physical environment, right? It's your mental environment, right?
Solid.
So it's like if you notice, the books I'm reading have a particular theme.
Yeah.
Being hardcore.
Yeah.
Like from David Goggins to Elon to Alex Ramosi. Like there's just that put in the volume. See, there are sometimes you need leverage.
Yeah.
Right? That it is not as much about the inputs as it is about the leverage. What processes that inputs to output? That's leverage. So you put in an input and you get an outsized output or return. Yeah. Well, bro, there are sometimes you just have to brute force that thing, man. There is no escaping it.
Yeah.
Like I was one of our closest guys, Daniel, and I was trying to pick his brain about something about trying to find an automatic way to do some stuff. It was data analytics and stuff.
Yeah.
I was trying to find it with something to with Daniel. Yeah. Last, you just type out this 100 or something plus. This, you will still do it. And I asked them, and I was like, Baba.
The work you're running from. You will go and meet it.
And to be fair, I wasn't afraid of the work.
Yeah.
I just wanted to be sure that there wasn't a smarter way to go.
Exactly.
But he just said that even him sometimes, he just has to do it.
Yeah.
Do you understand? So I've intentionally been, and I found out that when I'm reading about those kinds of people, like the things they've done in their lives. And to be fair, it is not always that brute forcing or going 1,000% in was the smart decision. Yeah. But there are times you need it and you are happy that you have it.
I also think in addition to that it might also, for a lot of fields, if not even every field, it's like a foundational.
If in the foundation, yes, 100%.
It should be in your foundation.
Yes.
In the foundational stage.
In the foundation, yes.
Then
100%.
Subsequently, you can now apply
100%. And then I happen to be in the foundational stage of everything that I am building. Like most things that I am building, I would say. So it's like there is no skirting around paying the price for it.
Exactly.
So I just have to face it head on.
Man.
I just have to face it head on. So like I've been paying a lot of attention to where my mind is.
Yeah.
I for lack of a better word, I can't allow my mind to be soft or comfortable. So that's why I want to, like, guys, there was a day, not to brag.
Yeah.
There was a day, I think I showed you the steps on my phone. I did 30,000 steps in 3 hours. Not because of anything. I read David Goggins. I saw how sick, that's the only word to describe it.
Word, bro.
I saw how sick his work ethic was, and I was like, I need to get into the mind space where I'm comfortable doing hard things, extremely hard things. For a reason, it's not normal. Because if you think about it, a second too long, your body will see. You are smart. Yeah. Your mind will come up with 1,001. It will even paint a picture, bro. With special effects, you'll be feeling like I should not do. Do you understand? Yeah. So it's like, nah, man, I have to break that barrier mentally and emotionally. So it's like, I'm reading after Elon, after Alex Hormozy saying, call 100 people a day. And that's for one of the things that you need to do. And you maybe have 5. Yeah. Do you understand? And you just have to walk through all of those things. Yeah. I'm saying this with a pinch of salt. Someone now come and be telling me burnout. What is burnout? I know what the road is. I will just show up and do the work. Yeah. Showing up and doing the work will guarantee me the results. A lot of times, you don't win by looking at the scorecard. Bro. It was this guy, this book that, you know, funny enough, it was Amara that recommended this book to me, Atomic Habits. It seems like the strangest thing, right? Because we're both avid readers, but I was like, he was reading, I was like, you know what, I've been seeing this book for a while. Yeah. I'm going to read it. And that was like one of the major points that was ingrained into my head. Yeah. You don't win by goals, you win by systems.
Systems, bro. Not by goals. Not by goals.
You don't win a match by looking at the scoreboard.
Bro, it's what is going on the field. It's what is going on the field.
All I have to do is I've charted the path. Yeah. I only need to know 2 things per time. I only really 2 things at the beginning. What I'm starting with and what the next step is. I don't need to know the entire road.
That's all. Really.
What I'm starting with, what the next step is. Yeah. So per time, I just need to know what I'm doing now and then what I'm doing next. I don't need to worry about the second and the third step. No. I just need 2 things. What am I doing now? What am I doing next? And all I will do is show up. I'm the one that says I want the kind of destiny or future that I want. I'm not going to chicken out of paying the price for it. That would be an extreme lack of character.
That's it, man.
An extreme lack of character. So I'm not sympathetic to myself about whatever plight I put. No. Yeah. Like burnout, burnout is a real thing.
It's a real thing, bro.
Like I'm not going to, but see, bro, I just need to know this is what I'm doing and this is what I'm doing next, and show up. Those are the 2 things I need to know. And then in Dave Goggins' book, he talks about Hell Week. The portion of Hell Week where it's like, you know, you psych yourself up the entire first week, like they are throwing bombs, blowing cannons, there's a lot of testosterone and adrenaline in the air. Everybody's just like, then all of a sudden, it's like the instructors now really start messing with you. And there's now a portion of it where you have to stay on the shore and the actual Pacific Ocean is washing over you, literally, and it's freezing cold.
I think I listened to it in this podcast.
Yeah, and it's freezing cold. Yeah. At that point in time, man, you are like,
who sent me, man?
I really don't need to do. You're like, I really don't. I could be with my girl in a warm bed.
Your body and your mind.
See,
oh my God.
Understand?
They will be working on overdrive.
And when he talks about it, because I'm such a visual, I like to. I have my wonder. I retain my wonder of things. Yeah. So I don't know. I like to visually imagine it's an ocean. It's the bloody Pacific Ocean. Yeah. How freezing it is. You go and quit like 4 a.m. when they are supposed to end by 5 a.m. because you think that's the key word. You think you can't take that extra hour. Yeah. Do you know what I'm trying to say? So like reading those kinds of things, reading Elon just saying, do it and I don't care how you do it. And he's actually telling you what to do. Yeah. And people are like, wait, this thing is actually working. Like they are blowing their own minds just because Elon said he didn't care how they figure it out, just figure it out. Don't do it in 6 months. Why? he will go and announce that he's releasing it in 4 weeks.
Yeah.
You know, so it's like you kind of have to be comfortable being uncomfortable.
Yeah.
And that for me has been the biggest or the most needed mindset shift I've had to have. I've had to have in this moment.
Yeah.
Because like I need to like doing hard things.
Yeah.
So it's like I'm switching my response to I have to go through 100 different entries for 27 months. Instead of thinking of it as I'm like,
let's go.
Like I don't think about it. Like I'm not dreading sitting at my computer. I'm just sit down, open, and just doing.
Yeah.
Literally just doing. Like I'm not thinking about the work. I'm just doing it. Like people might say it's robotic. See, the essence of me that needs to have thoughts and have felt has done so at the beginning.
Yeah.
When it says this is what I need to do.
Yeah.
I'm just going to plug and play. Literally. And just do that. And we've said it before. The way to do hard things is not quit.
Stop, man.
It's not stop. So incredible. It's been doing it for me, man. I won't lie. The past 3-4 weeks.
I'm happy for you, man. I'm happy for you. And I think it's something I would really love for people to take away, honestly, because setting goals are easy. Starting is easy.
It's sweet, bro.
Starting is easy. But like I like how you reference James Clear. And it's a quote. It's a quote I have written down in my Notion dashboard. You don't rise to the level of your goals. You fall to the level of your systems.
100%.
You fall to the level of your systems.
100%.
You don't rise to the level of the goals, man. You never
100%.
do. No matter the goals, no matter how beautiful they might look, it is the systems, the day-to-day. And so if you are able to get to the point where you embrace discomfort, accept that discomfort is the price.
Bro, like you just gamify it.
Yeah.
It just becomes something you look forward to.
I think I said this thing on maybe episode 8 or thereabout. Yeah. One of the earlier episodes.
There are bangers in those are early episodes, bro.
I said that like one of the reasons why I like the profession in which I am currently in is because I like the idea that a lot of people fail in what I'm pursuing. Yeah. It is a challenge.
I hear you, man. I hear you, man.
Let's go. Let's
go. I hear you, man.
So, guy.
I hear you, man.
Guys, take it away, man. Take it away. Embrace. Just accept like discomfort.
Like, see, don't dread it. You can see a lot of it is in your head.
It is.
It is. And Amara was the first person that made this sink in for me when he started his social media. And guys,
I said it now.
He said it. I was like,
on the podcast as well.
Yeah, it was on the podcast. I was
like, just go binge from 1 to like 20. You hear.
Amara said that thing. It was all in my head. And he said he had that conversation with his girl. And I was like, it's really all in. I was like,
it was in my head, man.
How you think about a thing, becomes your own subjective reality.
It's a very subjective reality.
It becomes your subjective reality.
And somebody on the outside will be looking at you like, what is this person saying? What are you saying?
What is this?
And for you, everything is rationalized. It makes sense. It's justified.
God punish rationalization. See, no, that's another thing that's been happening to me. I think about,
oh my God.
I think about, oh my God, this is about rationalization and excuses. I'm about to go on an absolute no excuse season. If there's a thing that needs to be done, it's either done or communicated ahead. Yeah. This is what I mean. There are standards I want to live by as a professional, as a high performance person. But Nigeria will Nigeria. Yeah. So for instance, there is a call I need to have, and maybe my internet is acting up. I'll now not have the call. And maybe I couldn't communicate to the person ahead of time that this is the reason why I couldn't have the call or be on the call. Yeah. And let's say it's a particularly bad time where like there's just no light. Yeah. For days like I had. You realize that I was being irritated at myself. That's why I just shut off. Because almost every single thing was excuse. Yeah, see, that's why I wasn't talking. Because everything I would have to say, there was like, bro, I promise you, the recoil in my body and in my, I was like,
you get to that point.
Now, I feel like vomiting.
Yeah.
I'm not making this up.
Bro.
No, oh my God. Just do the work.
Yeah.
Don't spend the energy you use to make excuse. Just really do the work. There was a task PT game and I was like, this thing is not hard. I couldn't pay as much attention to it as I would have liked. Like, if I've seen when I really wanted to do something, how quickly it took me to do it.
Yeah.
The fact that those things stand as witnesses against me, any other thing I'm saying is me being...
It's understand as witnesses.
They are witnesses against that you've done it. We know you are capable of doing it when you want to do it.
Yeah.
So the fact you didn't do it because it wasn't convenient for you to do, you had to put in the work to do it, and you didn't do it. It's against you now. It's counted against you.
Yeah, it is.
So it's like I don't want
this
to.
This is something about leadership as well.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
I don't want to have to give excuses. Like, bro.
Oh my God.
Excuses make you a lesser person.
You see, I think you guys know on the podcast that I'm a very big fan of. I was telling somebody that I don't know a person who is bigger than me with regards to accountability.
Yeah.
And okay, I know people definitely, but like in my own circle, I don't know anybody. And for me, it's because of how accountability is very easy to make you feel like they are dragging you.
Yeah.
Guys, for foreign listeners, if you don't know the meaning of dragging means that
when they're calling you out on your bullshit it's obvious that's bullshit.
They're calling you out on your bullshit. So the moment you say or you have done something that has allowed you to make yourself publicly accountable, and I say publicly, when I say public, I just mean that you've communicated something with somebody else.
Yeah.
The moment you mess up, you are giving that person room to drag the living daylight out of you.
The living daylight.
Bro, the person will drag you. If the person is nice, the person might not drag you. Do you get me? But if the person is a very candid person.
Yeah.
Person will
you
drag
collect
you.
it.
You collect. And that's why I love accountability.
Yeah, 100%.
Because you will find that one of the guys old listeners, you will not say this 1,000 times, that one of the things that would help you as you begin to choose high performance every day is to only say the things that you can do. My mouth will not open to say something I can't do.
I can confirm this. Amara is very slow to commit to extra things.
Because my reputation with myself is on the line. Not my reputation with you.
That's what's important.
My reputation with myself.
That's what's important.
It's important to me that I don't give an excuse.
That's what's important.
It's important to me that I don't feel like
100%.
I am making some sort of rationalization, or I'm in some way looking at the entire thing and just know I'm underperforming.
Yeah.
So I only say things that I know I can deliver on.
Yeah.
And that's not to say that I will now give an excuse of something I know I could naturally deliver on.
Yeah.
I will always think win-win between me and said person and reach a conclusion that favors the both of us, so that I know that I can follow through on that and still maintain that identity I have with myself as a person who delivers on the things that he says he will commit to.
I hear that.
So guys, choose that. Make it a thing where you allow yourself to be accountable to people or to publicly, just social media, whatever you want to use that as an opportunity to groom your ability to see yourself as somebody who doesn't tolerate excuses.
I love it so much.
Yeah.
I love it so much.
Yeah.
I love it so much. Guys, this was an entire sandwich or salad of different things that over the past couple weeks, couple months have helped us in surprising ways.
Exactly.
Right? In surprising ways. And I hope that you get as much as you can about this. I am personally taking to heart the thing about maintaining a reputation with yourself. Funny enough, the thought occurred to me very strongly this morning. Right? Maybe it's an offshoot of of how I was feeling about having to give excuses or being in the position to give excuses. Bro, it was a recoil. I don't know how else to put it. It was like, at this level, Daniel, no. Bro, it's like there was literally vomit in my mouth. Like, it was that bad. So what I'm taking to heart right now is, in addition to continuing to go as hard as I can, in wanting to achieve the things that I'm setting out to achieve, is really having a reputation with yourself. That's like my own personal takeaway. That's what I'm going to run with the next couple of weeks. I believe if I can combine these two things, I think I'll be in a place that I will be fairly satisfied with myself in the next 60 days. Yeah. So I'm going to take these two things, working as hard as I can and having a repetition with myself.
Personally, I like what you said about being uncomfortable doing hard things. And I mean, you can at least testify to the fact that this is something that I've been on. But remember how we started this podcast and said life will test your conviction.
100%.
Life is designed to test your conviction.
Yeah.
When you opened your mouth and said, "Oh yeah, I'm the kind of person that likes to do hard things. Hard things will come.
Hard things will come.
Hard things will come.
Hard things will come.
Hard things will knock on your door and say, "Here I am.
Do you understand? Do you understand? Do you understand?"
So to live by those principles every day is where you show strength of character.
And
so that's what I'm taking away from this conversation.
Yeah.
Just reminding myself that, I committed to being the kind of person who enjoys doing hard things. And like I said, when I talked about how my week went, I looked at that task head on and I said, I'm going to do this.
You're going to eat the frog, man.
Eat the damn frog. But yeah, guys, I hope you guys take a number of things away from this conversation.
Yeah, like even if it's just two things, it seems like a direct exchange of ideas, literally. But we hope that this helps as many people as it can in some way, form, or shape. As always, guys, thank you so much for listening, for making this a part of your day. Yeah. We really appreciate it. We don't take you for granted, and we'll see you in the next one.
Cheers, guys.
Bye, guys.